I've never had to stick something in my mouth and suck on it for my kids. So I mean, you've got there. I have not.
I believe
Yes, sir. You're right. Fathericity
it
episode number
is.
4.
This is episode number 4. Charlie mentioned something earlier. We're gonna try to record earlier during the day because I think his criticism or uh, critique of us last week was we're a little tired because we recorded so late. So,
Yeah, I do not think we had a lot of energy last week, so we got to step it up this week.
well, if it feels like there's no energy this week, it's because it kind of goes into today's topic: sick kids. What is your role as a dad? Your role as a parent when one of your kids is sick? And I'm talking from experience at this very moment because my little one is currently under the weather. Just a cold, but he's under the weather.
Yeah. Well, that just makes it tougher because I kind of feel like as dads, most of the time we're always kind of tired and wore out already. But sick kid definitely adds a whole nother dimension to it. So, like,
Yeah.
what does sick trending mean in your household, Jermaine? How do y'all kind of delegate that? Who does he uh kind of magnet go towards more? And depending on sickness, does it change?
Mom,
Yeah, yeah.
mom. Yeah, it's always mom. Um, I get mine. I ain't gonna lie, I get mine. But no, most of the time, if he's like really, really sick, it's always mama. To the point to where she kind of looks at me and goes, "Why can't this be you
Yeah, yeah.
hugging
I
this
think
baby? Why
I
can't this
think
be you?" Why
all the
he's
dads out there have had that. Towards that moment, it's
Yeah,
like, I wish they wanted you right now just to give me a break from what I'm
yeah,
doing.
exactly. Because I sleep fine. I don't know about her, but I sleep pretty good. But I hear him in the middle of the night, "Mama, mama." I'm like, "You don't go, daddy, daddy." So I sleep good. She doesn't. Matter of fact, she got sick because he got sick. It's just the cold, but she's currently fighting the cold too now too. So you know how that goes. Usually that's what happens. Kid gets sick, and then mama's there having to nurture and care for and cuddle and all take care of the sick one. And then, little kids running around perfectly healthy or seems fine, full of energy. And then your wife's just like death warmed over.
Yeah, but I kind of feel
So,
there's something in the mama gene to where their immune system gets so much better whenever they have kids to where they can be in there cleaning up vomit, taking care of the kid, hugging on them all the time, and half the time they won't even get sick. They're all involved in it, breathing it, everything else, and they won't even get it.
well, she's got this one. She's got the
She's
last
got
couple.
this one? Okay. So this one
She's
got
got the
through
last
the
couple.
defenses over there.
Yeah. She usually gets it second. If I get sick, for example, I had COVID uh, late August, end of August, and she stayed home because we kept trending home just for safety reasons. And after a day or two, I was fine. But then she started getting sick, and then ended up she tested positive for COVID.
Right.
And she also, again, if he gets sick or I get sick first, she usually gets it from one of us. I usually don't catch anything from them. So if I get it, it's just because I got it somehow.
Right. You got it somewhere else. But if they get it, it'll kind of filter its way to you or it doesn't.
Yeah. I got the mom gene in the sense that I don't get sick. Now, granted, he's not 100% on top of me
Right.
as much as he is her usually. Now, today's different because, like I said, she was under the weather. So she took a long nap this afternoon. So I had boy all day with me.
Yeah,
We
you
just
were on
watched
daddy
TV.
duty at that point.
Yeah.
Whenever she was taking a nap, you
Yeah.
had to step
The
up.
problem was today, though, was he didn't have a nap. So it's just about 8 o'clock, maybe just after 8 o'clock. He has not had a nap, and he usually goes to bed about 8:30. So he has been in cuckoo for cocoa puffs mode for about an hour now.
Oh, come on.
No, it's bad.
Well, but you're just gonna let him run it out, and then he'll eventually crash. It's always
Yeah,
he gets that last minute push for that last little bit of excitement before it all comes to an end.
and here's the thing about my son: like even when he's sick, he doesn't act sick. I don't know about your kids, but Trendon does not act sick. Now, there's been once or twice where he's been like down, and you can
Right.
just tell. You can see it in his eyes and everything. He just looks like a completely different person. But most of the time, when he's like, it's just the cold, or something like that, upper respiratory infection, something like that, ear infections, those type of things. He maybe in the morning's a little rough, but for most of the day, he's running just fine. The medicine, the prescription medicines give him strength. Like it turns into a superhero because he just gets more energy, runs off more power, more velocity, more speed. Um, it's like putting nitro in your car or something. I don't know. I don't know the analogy, but he's been going today, and he has been fighting a nap all day long. So when he crashes, he's going to crash good.
Well, that's good. He's gonna sleep through the night, and y'all are gonna get a nice, peaceful evening. She can be rested up. You can be rested up. It'll be a good morning.
Yeah, except for two things. One, since it is a cold, he's got some, drainage issues. So we got to do the nose Frida thing. And for like the first year and a half, we had to use that thing. By the way, nose Fridas, dads, if you don't know about this thing, it is the weirdest, simple, nastiest, and effective tool in your medical toolbox when dealing with a sick child. Have you used a
Yeah.
nose Frida?
No, I've not. I don't know what kind of fancy French term you're using over here, but
Okay, so I wish I put it by the nightstand because we're going to have to do this to him before we go to bed.
so what is it?
If your kid is snotty, if your kids, what you do when your kids were snotty? What did you
Hold
do?
on, is it like a Yeti pot? Or I mean, what do you
Yeah, kind of, sort of, but except you're doing all the work.
except you're what do you mean you're doing all okay, well, you're either gonna have to explain it or you gotta go get it. One of the two.
I'll explain it because I don't want to get up
Okay.
because
All
I
right.
got my nice setup right here. For the uninitiated, a nose Frida. It's at HEB, Walmart, your grocery store, wherever you go, pharmacy. It is a simple device with a tube that's connected to a little cylinder, and you put a filter at the end of the tube connected to the cylinder. The cylinder goes up your child's nose, and you use suction from your mouth with the tube, and you suck out literally all the mucus,
No,
all the snot.
no. What kind of hippie medicine are you doing to that boy?
It's not hippie stuff,
You're sucking
but you
boogers
better
out of his nose with your mouth. How is that not hippie stuff?
with a filter through a tube.
Is
With
it
a
as
filter
effective
through
as
a
a
tube.
COVID mask? Is that what you're telling me?
Huh?
The particles are getting through? There's nothing getting to you?
I will say this.
There's no
One time the
way.
filter,
That is the craziest thing I've
one
ever heard of.
time, Charlie, one time the filter did not help.
Really? Yeah, I can imagine that, man. There's no
And
way.
you're just trying to ease your child's discomfort. And all that snot, his nose is running. You can hear it rattling in his chest. He's like swallowing it back. It's all nasty. And you're like, I want to help my son. I want to help my kid. And you get this thing. You spray saline up each nostril,
Uh-huh.
spray some saline up there. It loosens it up, breaks it all up, and then you just
Do they not have
suck the snot out.
we had I mean, there wasn't a fancy name attached to it, but there was like a little vacuum pump thing that you could stick up to
Yeah,
his nose that would suck it out. But you
yeah,
didn't
kind of
like
similar to
suck
that.
a tube with it was like you're siphoning gas out of a car or a lawnmower or something. You
Yeah,
don't suck on it with your mouth.
hold on. I'm gonna go get it because you're
No way.
saying this. I'm gonna go
Go
get
get
it.
it.
Give me
Go get
10
it 'cause I
seconds.
want to
10
see it.
seconds.
There is no way. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. If there's other dads out there that have done this, please comment, email us something. Tell us your nose Frida story because there's no way this is a thing.
brand name. This bad boy right here. This bad boy right here.
So you stick
We're losing focus.
that part goes up into his nose.
Yeah. And there's a
What are you
filter.
sucking on? Okay.
There's a filter right here.
Filter. Hold on. Unscrew it. Let me see the filter. Let me see what kind of filter stuff we have on here.
This little thing.
So is that styrofoam or gel or what is
It's
it?
like, it's kind of, I don't know what it is. It's like whatever spin your air filter in your truck, just in little blue tube form.
Okay, but I don't understand how you don't think stuff gets through there. How do you clean that? When you get ready to clean it, how do you clean it?
So what I do is I go to the sink
Uh-huh.
and set this thing on high because I lost a piece. Oh, here we go. So this is the tube. So this goes to the cylinder.
Uh-huh.
This is the mouthpiece that goes in your mouth like this.
Uh-huh.
So you take that cylinder, put it on here, make sure the filter's in there,
Uh-huh.
stick it up their nose. After you spray some saline up there, loosen that stuff up. And then you just, and the amount of just, it's nasty.
Yeah, and you're sucking it out of there. I don't understand how it does not go through the tube if you're sucking on it to go get in your mouth.
Because it runs down the side, so it doesn't really get all. So the way that it's set
But you're
up,
making a
there's a.
vacuum in there.
So, but again, it's like a piece in here. So the filter sits in a different piece, so it doesn't just go straight into the tube.
I mean, it sits in a piece. Like,
Like I can't. I'm not an engineer. Hold on.
okay, I would like to mention that that is one of the funnier parts about this is because as far as like mechanical things go, Jermaine is not the greatest on that. And listen to
That's why I brought this out.
how this is
No,
working.
dads, I'm for real. It's disgusting, but but if your child's been sick and they're snotty, you can use that pump thing. I remember when I was a little kid, I saw that little pump. I thought it was a microphone. I'd be like singing in it and stuff, and we
Oh
get
yeah, it's
water
a
and use like a
little
water gun.
booger sucker thing. Yeah, you just squeeze,
Yeah.
put it up in there, and suck it out. So
So, but
what's
this thing right here,
is that
it's
better?
nasty. Yeah. Oh, 10 times, 100 times. I, again, like, never thought I'd do it. I told myself, no, never. How many times have you said this as a dad? How many times have you said this as a parent? I would never do that. And then you do the thing
Oh
you
no, no,
wouldn't. You said
I
you
quit
never
some
do.
of all that, man. I'm open to all kinds of stuff, but this right here, this is freaking me out a little bit. Because okay,
Okay,
so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, because I mean, it's pretty nasty just thinking about it. I mean,
that's why
okay,
I'm healthy. That's why I'm healthy.
why
That's why
you're
I'm healthy.
healthy? Okay,
That's
it's
why I'm
because
healthy.
you're
Come
inhaling
suck my son's boogers out.
out everywhere else. But just as a dad, let me just ask: would this thing not work better? I mean, how hard do you have to suck on that?
Depending on how much is up there,
Are you do is it a volume thing or is it just like it's kind of stuck so it doesn't want to come out? I don't there's a lot of things I don't understand about what you're telling me right now.
so what we again makes there's no product placement, so I gotta make sure I don't show the label. This is the saline.
Gotcha.
You just water and salt. You spray it up the nose. Each nostril, give it 2 pumps. I'm gonna, pss, pss, and
How does
then
he react when you do that? I mean, does that like scare him? Does he like it?
oh, that's what's going to get to. Um, when we first started using it, Wendy would hold him down.
Right?
I mean, Wendy would hold him. Let me rephrase that. When he was an infant, as a baby, Wendy would hold him, and I would do that part.
Right?
He's 2 now. He's a man child.
Uh-huh. So y'all have to switch roles now.
If he sees this and this together, he automatically goes into freak out mode
Okay,
because he knows what's coming.
I thought you were gonna say that now he knows and he's grown to like it. So he like asked you to do it.
No.
That's the next
Now,
thing I see is this being like Afrin or something, and like he gets addicted to it to where he's like asking you to suck
no,
his nose out all the time.
no,
Okay, no.
Charlie,
One more question.
Charlie, I will let me. If Wendy was here right now, I would be honest with you. Last night hurt.
Okay.
It hurt, not because he was so adamantly not wanting it to happen
Uh-huh. Yeah.
that usually he fights you off. Like he pushes and swipes your hand and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
To hear him cry last night
Uh-huh.
as it was happening, usually you get a no, no, don't, no. You get that.
Uh-huh.
Last night was like real tears.
Uh-huh.
Like it was like legit. Like we got done, and my wife and I looked at each other, and I thought for a moment we were both about to break down and cry, just like he was. It was that bad. But, but, guess what my man did last night?
What?
Guess what he did last night?
You did.
He slept all night long without sneezing or having snot dried up all over his face the next morning, and none of that. He was so we know it's for his own good. We even tell him like we just want you to go to sleep. We just want you to have a good night's sleep. We'll just be comfortable. But last night it hurt. Like as a parent, as a dad, it hurt to know that my kid was like,
that, that's something you got to do as a dad. Is it's going to be
yeah,
that way, and they're going to think you're being mean to them or doing something horrible to them when you're doing it for their benefit. 100%.
if he knew the words, the cuss words,
Oh
he
yeah,
would have cussed us out last night.
absolutely.
And the sad thing is,
that you didn't love him last night because of what you were doing to him. That's what he would have told
for a split second, maybe.
you. Yeah.
But it's gonna happen again tonight. It's got to.
Okay,
It's
now
got to.
I want to know one thing. Have you and Wendy tested this out on each other so y'all have any idea what that poor baby is dealing with whenever you put this thing on there? You have not, so you don't know what the
No, no, no. I'm laughing because I have
okay, uh,
to myself.
okay.
I've done it to myself before.
I think we're gonna have to see that. I think we're gonna have to see it. Okay, hold on. So
I'm
everybody,
not really doing it, but I was stuffed up one day. I was stuffy. I was all
but I'm just saying. I
yeah.
mean,
I
if you
did it
see
to
how bad he
myself.
hates it, you'd have to see what the feeling was as far as like suction coming up in there.
Yeah, oh yeah. You gotta put some force behind it because you gotta get a lot of it out, and you don't realize how much. There's been times we've looked at it, and it's gonna sound gross, but my wife will do it, or I'll be doing it, and you'll just hear it. Like
It's
there's
not
a
gonna
different sound, and a bunch
sound
comes
gross.
out.
It's not gonna sound gross. This 100% is gross. Okay, I mean
Okay.
it just is. It's where
All
we're at.
right. So, but here's the thing. This thing right here, nose freedom. We're not a paid advertiser. I'm not getting paid for this. It's not a money plug. This thing is 100 times better. Again, I thought it was nasty too. I was like, hey,
Okay. I'm looking at the thing, and I want to know, in true dad fashion, I want to know: can you not take your vacuum cleaner hose and duct tape it to the end of there in order to generate suction? Would that not be okay?
that's kind of what I'm getting at. I don't know, but I have one day. My wife and I were sitting around, and I was like, I'm tired of cleaning that thing out. It's nasty. There has to be a like. I'm a tech guy. There has to be a high tech way of doing this. They have battery operated nose suction devices
I know we had one.
where you stick the thing up his nose and you hit a button
It's
and the
not.
machine does it.
Yeah, it's not that far. It kind of looks like the ones that they put in your ears, but it's got like a little tapered one.
Yeah,
You go up there and you just push the button on the back, and it sucks. But they never sucked enough in order.
exactly.
Okay,
That's my
that's what I
point.
say with
This
this one.
thing.
You can
This
really
is it.
generate the suction, is what you're telling me. I
Yeah,
mean,
this is it. Go for the original. Go for the original. That's what I was trying to get to. Like, yeah. So 3 times. It's happened 3 times
okay.
where you're using this thing on him and he's flailing and kicking and screaming and he hits your hand and guess what happens?
What? What happened?
The snot goes everywhere.
Okay. Does it just come out whenever you do it, or
It's
when
just it's running, so it's just kind of no. It's like it's in the tube,
okay.
and it's nasty. It got on me last night.
I
It did
don't
it
think
last night.
obviously I don't think you're sucking hard enough. If when it comes
No,
out, it slings out because you should be having negative draw on there in order to pull it back in. It shouldn't come out. You should be able to be sucking
no.
up
So
and
he'll
upside
hit.
down. It won't come out.
So it's up your nose, and you're sucking it up, and you take a break because you got to breathe, right? And then his arm will catch your arm. He'll do that. Well, this will it's wet. It's drippy because you broke it up with this stuff. You broke it up with this stuff. So it's not thick. And it can get like it's all over my arm last night. But we were already in it. So
Yeah,
I just had to keep going.
yeah. That's all.
And you don't understand how upset I get with my wife when it happens and it gets on me. It's not her fault because I'm the one holding him down. So I'm the one that let his arm slip through.
Right.
But when it gets on me, I'm just like, but you got to maintain.
Yeah, I got you. I just don't understand how you got to that. We're just have to go because we got to wrap this episode up because it's going to be quick. But I can honestly say that I've got my three and I've made it this far, and I don't. You've got into some a part of parenting and a part of fatherhood that I never have, because up until this point, I've never had to stick something in my mouth and suck on it for my kids. So I mean, you've got there. I have not. So see, I don't know, but hey, that's why you're a great dad, Jermaine. That's why you're a great dad.
I hope I hope everyone listening is enjoying this conversation, having a good laugh because there are times as a father, as a parent, we know this. You've got to laugh to keep from crying or screaming or anything. But I don't like that connotation you just had right there.
Yeah, no, you're definitely going to be in
I,
situations you never thought you were going to as a father. 100%.
yeah, and this is one of them. But it works. It works. This is not a paid advertisement, but it works.
Although it could be.
Nose free.
If y'all want to call us and get with us, we will definitely take sponsorships, and maybe Jermaine can demonstrate it some more or something.
But
So
again, you got to get the filter.
yeah,
Otherwise,
don't be like those people who used to smoke cigarettes without the filters. The filter is
don't.
very important on this.
It's never mind. I was in. Dads, if you're watching, parents, if you're watching this episode on TikTok or listen to us on podcasts, things like that, like leave a comment. Talk about your nightmares with nose Fritas and the bad things that have happened with them, but also talk about how good they are.
Okay.
There's some nightmare stories out there.
Wow. I think that's a great place to end it. And sometimes fatherhood
Thanks
is
for listening. Merry Christmas,
yeah,
all that stuff.
it'll be after Christmas before we put another episode out. So everybody have a good time. Enjoy putting all that stuff together so it can be ready for Christmas morning. And we'll wish y'all all the best.
Bye, everybody.